Hey, what's up everybody? It's Lids, and we're back for some more Hades 2, and last time we had the last successful run that we needed to gather all the necessary resources to, as you can see in the top left corner, prepare to slay Typhon once and for all, and then afterward, slay Kronos once and for all. So that means we are getting very close to the climax of the new true ending. Of course, we've seen this once before with the original true ending, and supposedly there isn't much that's changed on the surface side, so not really expecting too much to be different this time round, but we'll see. And as for what we've planned on this run, the bonus weapon would be the blades, and feels like it's been a really long time since we last used these, and if Aspect of Pan was the most recent time, then wow, yeah, that was a while back. I think the one that we've probably gone the longest without using is the Aspect of Artemis, or at least the one we've used the least often in total. So I really couldn't tell you when we last used these guys.
Artemis.
The whole idea is that you use your charge attack to basically block with the parry. You have a cooldown on that, a pretty long cooldown no less, but that gives you a pretty huge critical damage, or crit chance I should say, with the attack. So going to be attack centric. But that is alright. Of course, once upon a time, the blades were my favorite weapon. Just the base aspect of Melunui in the early stages, but we'll see how we fare this time around. The other thing, of course, in addition to defeating Typhon once and for all, is that we are looking to track down Medea, because we did have a more minor prophecy/side quest with her, although it wasn't really clear what exactly that was all about, so I'm a little intrigued by that. That is secondary, though, of course, and we don't even know if she's going to show up. I think we'll probably go Jeweled Palm here. We have, in general, been using that a lot. As of late, it is, of course, very strong. So, oh, and then if we theoretically have a little more crit, then maybe it does make sense for us to use Rocky here, since that would be the crit-oriented familiar, giving us 4% base crit chance, and then if we hit the marked enemy, that's an additional 15. So combine that all with the bonus we get after parrying, and that's quite a bit. Oh, and you can see just above where we have the Death Defiance indicator, that glowing blue light, that is usually something we see on weapon aspects that can only use a special ability after it gets charged up. I'm guessing that is showing us that our cooldown on our riposte is, well, it's usable right now. So I think we're also going to go with No Fear, because, well, yeah, the blades would take us down, so that doesn't really make much sense, and as I've been saying, that I think it just doesn't make a lot of sense when we're trying to make sure we can check off these successful runs as quickly as possible, make sure we don't run out of time, because we want to make sure we have the chance to see the new true ending, and we're almost there. So let's hop in. And it's been so long since we last had a surface run, because we've been doing so many underworld runs in a row. Did make it easier to see what has changed and compare one run to the next, how the plot is progressing, so I think that was worthwhile, but it does mean I'm perhaps a little out of practice here with the surface stuffs. And we get Selene in the first encounter now. We, of course, do not benefit from the Jeweled Palm when we take Selene upgrades, and then we got the Dash as the free Hades boon from the Jeweled Palm, which it feels like we get a lot. But let's go here.
The moon and draw you down.
I see often the gleaming sister blades within your grasp. I knew eventually that they would reawaken and accept you as their bearer. May their swiftness overwhelm your foes.
That's the thing. They're quick, but the damage is not that high. Let's see what our options are here. We can get the beam. I am a fan of this. We can do the healing. We can do the big meteor. So these two are generally some of my favorites. Not a huge fan of this one. So this would be Apollo, this would be Hestia. Obviously, this is the very first room, so we don't know if we are going to end up seeing either of them, but we'll want to make a point of doing that. Well, actually, I guess we can plan a little bit with the blades. Is there one of those that makes more sense? I mean, Apollo gives area of effect, which would otherwise be a bit of a weakness of the blades, so maybe that does make sense in that case. Oh, yeah, I did riposte there. I was trying to. Oh, and it has an indicator for it as well. That's cool. Above our head. I assume that's what those daggers are. Oh, that gives us a free fire boon. At least fire elemental. I just wanted to double check You're impervious for 1 second. I want to see your next 9 strikes have plus 50% critical chance. So it's the number of strikes, not a certain amount of time in which we need to attack to get that bonus. So can we even carry that from one room into the next? That'd be pretty awesome if you could. I don't think that is the case, though, by the looks of things. Then, you know, you have slow enemies like these zombie dudes. And it takes a little while, even if you're trying to farm a riposte against them. I did it on a few occasions, and nothing ended up happening because they were too slow.
Your recent descent took you deeper than my deepest roots. Close to where the Titan Kronos now resides, and holds your mother captive with the rest. Is there no way to inform us of what happened?
We technically can't communicate with the gods and goddesses when we're in this situation. It's a one-way type of message. But of course, we made it all the way down to see the Titan Kronos. Okay, now once upon a time, as I said, the blades were my favorite weapon, and I really liked using Demeter with the blades, because I would either go special or cast to get the freeze effect, and that just makes it much safer to go in with the attack as your primary source of damage. So this is the lead ability, the setup skill, more often than not. I feel like the cast is probably going to be a little more useful for that. Let's go that route. And we get the extra levels, of course, courtesy of the Jeweled Palm. Unfortunately, rare rarity, as we've said many times before. A little bit awkward, hard to rarify it in the future. Now let's see what our options are. Ooh, hold on. In the city, we do see Medea. I think we have to do that. And she is usually someone we would make a point of visiting anyway, usually very early on. Okay, so Medea, probably go for her first. Hermes we would typically take early as well, so that's probably 2 that we would check off. I see the hammer, obviously, that's interesting. That'd be 3. We do already have Demeter, so if we take her, we can potentially get some more synergies. That'd be 4. We took the Apollo Hex, right? Not the Hestia one, because obviously I do see Hestia. That's a bit unfortunate. Obviously, if we'd known that in advance, then might have been more interested in going that route. So we might take her, we might take Hera, we might take Ares, we could even take the double life. So I think the last room or 2, there's a little more flexibility there, but let's see what Medea has for us.
Great Hecate, I celebrate your ways. You light my passage through the dark of night. I first encountered you whilst in a haze, and you returned to me my will to fight. I shall devote myself to what you teach, though I have my own methods I employ. Your wisdom ever is beyond my reach. You need but give me something to destroy. So mote it be.
She's like, yeah, I'll follow your teachings, but I do have my own methods, my own ways, and that pretty much just entails destroying everything that I see. So make sure you give me something to destroy.
It isn't you.
So yeah, we had some sort of side quest. Yeah, we give her an item that we crafted after collecting some tears in the underworld. We had to wait a long time before we saw her again because we did a whole bunch of underworld runs. But I didn't really know where that quest was coming from or what it's going to amount to, so I really am not sure where this is going to go.
How much has changed with time? It's not as often that I see familiar faces such as yours, or hateful ones. So many fail to understand our ways.
You've always seemed to have ways of making them understand, Lady Medea. Though, do you find you miss living among mortals?
Locating live subjects for my research used to be easier, but that exception notwithstanding, no. A few true friends are better than 1,000 friendly feigning strangers.
Okay, so notably, we did not gift her that item there. I imagine we might actually need to use the gifting option in a separate conversation to make that happen. Let's see, so when we use a Death Defiance, we do a bunch of damage. Against Typhon, of course, that could be quite useful, and as I said, it's been a while since we've been on a surface run, so Typhon probably is the most significant encounter that's gonna have the most, well, I expect to make the most mistakes on that. After each encounter, gain max magic. I mean, to get this immediately means we could get absolutely insane amounts of magic. Granted, that usually isn't that important, but it'd still be pretty interesting. After a foe joins the encounter, it loses 50% of any armor it has. Of course, to most enemies that's not going to do anything, but against some of the most powerful enemies, it could be quite useful. I'm kind of intrigued by this. I mean, we are going to be using magic to use our charge attack to set up all the riposte stuff, so it would be helpful for that, and then maybe we can get a little bit creative, finding other ways to put our magic to good use.
That they shall feel.
Okay, so we've done that. Now, we could gift a nectar, but this is how we're going to gift the Tears Vaporized, mostly used by the Witch of Shadows, for who only knows what. Okay, so even here, it's being very mysterious.
This should be what you sought. One vial of vaporized tears from the morning fields. May you use it well.
Oh, this is it. To think of all the sorrow concentrated here. I shall be working with this very soon. Thank you so much.
Okay, so we might need to check back on her to see what comes of all this. Although that does fulfill the prophecy. Despite it being a prophecy that we only learned very late on, I don't think it was all that rewarding. So, in terms of just the loot we get, if you will, at the back, or once we get back in the crossroads. So, I don't know if there's going to be something else once we get back. Surely at least a conversation with Medea about it, I would think. But I still don't really understand what the significance of that is. Okay, so now we get magic with every room we go through. And I think we were eyeing you as another place, another reward that we would benefit from a lot early on, potentially. I thought it was going to be you.
Credit to the most efficient killer here. You do the work, you get the coin.
Something about there being just one enemy right in front of us at the very beginning who just kind of stood there for a split second. I was like, yeah, this is going to be Heracles' appearance, isn't it?
Split the proceeds.
That depends. Oh, it is this guy. Next. What? No, that's cheap. He was already in the animation. Stop running away. Who's next? Who has the mark? Who has the mark? Who has the mark? Wait for the next wave. Possibly. Nope. Go away. Go away. Go away. He's mine. Thank you. Do the hex switch. There are two mark enemies right now. I thought I was just barely on the edge of that, not quite counting as being in, but I don't see anyone who's marked right now, to be honest with you. That might be it. I feel like usually it caps at about 120 gold anyway. That might actually be a hard limit.
All's well.
Did take a fair bit of damage, in large part because I did end up just willingly standing in the fire in order to take out enemies as quickly as possible. Okay, so let's do this. Oh, technically we should have done this first.
Put a real spring in your step.
Because he may give us the option to get more money going forward. And if he does, which we see right here, that is really good early on. It's the lowest rarity option, which is kind of unfortunate. The dash frequency, I'm not a huge fan of. I honestly don't notice that much of a difference. Maybe against Typhon in particular it would be useful. The charge moves being faster with our whole riposte system is quite nice. It's just the timing of this is so ideal that even though it's a lower rarity, it might still be worth doing it. I'm pretty tempted. And then we could potentially even rarefy it with Narcissus on the next floor if we really wanted to. And you could probably make the case for it now. Obviously, it means that we did pick up the gold a little bit early from the Heracles encounter, but, you know, what would it have given us, like 20 extra gold? Slightly more than 20 extra gold, so be it.
Oh, good.
Get you. That's a nice bonus in one of these side rooms. Probably one of the better things you can get. And then a mini shop, which is actually quite useful as well. And that's... oh, I was going to say, a lot less expensive than I would have expected it to be. That's probably because it gets delivered in 8 encounters, so we won't see this until the next floor, which is kind of crazy. But I think we're going to do it, especially given how we have that extra gold earning potential. Allows us to be more aggressive with this sort of stuff. I don't think we need to expedite. And this is probably not going to be necessary. This could potentially be useful, but given how much max magic scaling potential we have, I think we'll be more than fine with that stuff. Okay, so now we were thinking
Where else can we go?
probably hammer, which we'd probably like to see attack-based stuff for that, and then maybe Demeter, and we have 2 rooms after that. Definitely not looking for the double magic room, I can tell you that much. And if we, well, I know we did get the extra free life from that mini room, which means the double life room may not feel like it's as necessary either. Let's see what we get out of this. Ooh, excuse me.
Death to Kronos.
Not necessary, to be honest with you. The timing was probably not ideal. Our armor. You are also frozen. These are worth slightly more now. I mean, the bonus gold, when it's just common rarity, it's only 20%, right? So it's not like that's a game-changing amount. But that on top of the starting gold, or that just flat 120 gold that means you get right off the bat, it is nice. And then again, if we rarefy later on, then that can be more of a game changer. And let's see what we get here, though. Oh, we've never used this. Each hit from your special deals 50 damage to armor. Attacks are 30% faster. I mean, that's so much better. Especially for what we're trying to do. I don't know if that also means that the charge up for the attack is faster, or if it's exclusively just when you're spamming the basic attack. But maybe, given how this is still a zero fear run, we should probably do this. This might be the last upgrade we need for prophecy completion purposes. So we'll do it.
For Lim and Dora.
It wasn't the last one we needed, but gets us closer. And it means, oh, there's a side room here. It just means, you know, we might benefit more from future hammer upgrades, more so than the one we just got. Oh, this is just a completely free palm. And we have only one boon that can be upgraded with a palm. And it is one that, as I was kind of talking about before, yes, it did get stronger from the jeweled palm. However, we're not really using this for the damage all that much. It's mostly just here for the freeze. So, rarefying it and leveling it up just don't really change all that much for us, I don't think. I think we will go here, though. It's kind of similar to the Heracles encounter that time, where there's just that single enemy staring right at us. Ah, that was bad. That was also very bad. Hello there. There's a lot more enemies here.
Traitor.
I was about to say I dare you to walk into my freezing circle, and then my freezing circle went away before I could even say that.
In the name of Hades.
Okay. We get Magic Restoration. It is the highest rarity option, but given the Medea upgrade, I really don't think that's going to be necessary. We can probably get by just on pure, huge starting magic. Freeze effects last longer. I'm a huge fan of that. However, steady growth, the timing is perfect. The only downside is that, once again, this is only common rarity. So if this were epic, it'd be incredible. But I think we're probably taking you nonetheless. And then we're just... we could still Narcissus Keepsake after this floor, and if it lands on you, great. If it lands on you, that works as well.
I see.
In either case, I think it's probably still worth it. Now, any side rooms here? Seemingly not. So it does mean, for what it's worth, that we've done a lot of stuff that gives us... Ooh, hello. that gives us long-term value, but technically speaking isn't as good in the short term, so there might be something to be said for being a little more greedy when it comes to the short-term stuff. So going Hestia or Ares rather than... or Hera, I almost missed her in the corner there, versus just loading up on life. I mean, yes, that is still helpful for the upcoming boss fight, but probably more so damage that we're lacking at this stage. So, I mean, we don't have any precedent with any of those three. I don't know if there's anyone in particular that we would be more inclined to use than the others. Hera, in general, is pretty good. Well, so we're looking for an attack boon. That's going to be the most important boon for us. And so if we're thinking about which type of attack boon we think would be best, I think they're all probably pretty similar. I mean, Hestia's damage over time. Ares is a little bit of upfront damage and then a little burst of damage. And then Hera is the most straightforward, just big burst of... or, well, not big burst. Upfront damage. She does technically have some area of effect with the whole hitch thing. Maybe that makes her the best option, given that we otherwise would be a little lacking in area of effect.
More cutthroats.
Would kind of like to destroy that. Oh, you can hit me from there. I guess you took range attack. That shouldn't come as much of a surprise, and then I did also still get hit once again.
And scoop?
Alright. Let's do this.
Your underworld has long since fallen, but our Olympus yet stands. You're wise to head this way, where you can make a real difference here and now. As I shall momentarily.
We're definitely looking to make a difference this time. Now I was gonna say, I very much do not want to go with a common rarity boon, because we already have several that we might want to hit with the Narcissus Keepsake. Now, if Bridal Glow lands on... I don't even know if it can land on Quick Buck, since it can't be leveled. It can be rarefied, but it cannot be leveled. So I don't know if it just gives the rarefication and not the levels, or if Bridal Glow just says, nope, not even eligible. In which case, it's basically a 50-50 between Arctic Ring, which, as I said before, rarity and levels, not a huge deal on this. However, if it lands on Steady Growth, that also can't be leveled. It can only be rarefied. So it might only be able to hit Arctic Ring. We might be about to find out. We're gonna take it regardless. It is Arctic Ring. I feel like that might be the case. It might not be eligible for a Quick Buck or Steady Growth, because if it was, then that would be incredible, because then we would know for certain that we would know which one the Narcissus Keepsake would hit, and obviously we would have just covered for one of these getting improved by the Bridal Glow itself. So, not really what we would have liked to have seen in that way, but in the name of science, we may have learned something. I mean, there's always a chance that it could have landed on any of those three, and we just so happened to have gotten unlucky and gotten what was probably the worst of all of them. But we may have discovered something. Okay, so now, definitely not going to be double magic. It's a question of, do we go for something more offensive from Ares or Hestia, or do we go with something more defensive with the double hearts? We do, of course, have a shop as well. So, I mean, technically speaking, in a vacuum, I do think that double life is actually more valuable than the boon rooms, at least if you look at it from a price it would cost at a shop standpoint. Then again, because we have the Jeweled Palm, anything that we pick up is going to have +3 levels, and so every boon is worth more than it would usually be worth. So maybe that's reason enough to say boons are actually preferable, and I think actually, so I'm primarily thinking about what we'd want for the attack boon. I think the answer is probably either, well, of the ones we've already taken, probably Hera. Not the biggest fan of Ares' attack boon, but if we can actually get his magic restoration, that gives us the plasma, and the plasma could be quite useful because it gives us extra speed, which is something that we already have a lot of, but we could make crazy powerful.
That was the last of them.
So it does tempt me. Right. I was thinking for a second that we had the, ooh, hello. We had one of the boons that allows us to control where our special, or rather our cast lands. It doesn't just automatically get dropped right on top of us. And then I realized, no, that is not the case. I've had that, I think, for several of our fairly recent runs, which is probably why. That's sort of in my mind still. Let's see what we get here.
I hope that I might find you there tonight. Whilst the Titan Kronos reels from your recent victory, his forces on the surface must be shaken and more vulnerable to attack.
Indeed. Okay, and this is exactly what I was just talking about, and it is not common rarity, so that is nice. This is also one of the plasma options. There are actually 3 of them, but let's go with this first.
The scent of blood.
And so it's magic restoration, which, as I said, is not really that meaningful when we already have 125 magic. However, it is possibly the most offensive of them. It's, off the top of my head, really the only offensive magic restoration boon. Maybe I'm forgetting one. But since we can get speed from the plasma, both attack speed and also movement speed, that could be quite nice. And there are, as we were just seeing, other plasma boons we can potentially combine with it to make our plasma even more likely to drop, giving us even more chances to scale up that speed. Do the healing, which actually is a little bit relevant here. And now, one of the reasons why I was thinking we could be a little less offensively oriented with that boon was because we do have this shop where we can get a mystery boon and we can get a palm slice. Now, we still only have what is now 2 boons that are level upable. This is almost guaranteed to hit. Oh, we don't really want it to hit you. Probably prefer for it to hit you. It naturally, it has hit you. Alright, fair enough. At this point, it is legitimately a lot higher damage than it was at first, so this is more so an actual damage dealer rather than just a setup skill. What do we get here?
Good evening, my
It is Hera. We could take her attack, but it is common rarity, which I'm not a fan of. Oh. Okay, this is actually horrible. Like, really horrible. I mean, yes, from a pure magic restoration standpoint, this is definitely better. But as I was just saying, there was a case to be made for taking Ares' magic restoration boon because it is less of a magic restoration boon and more of a movement speed and DPS boon. This would be useful, except that it's common rarity, which means it further messes with the Narcissus Keepsake potential. And then likewise here, this is also a very important boon that we really want to make sure that we're either getting a high rarity right off the bat, or that we can ensure becomes the target of the Narcissus Keepsake. And I just don't think it makes sense to have 3 recipients for the Narcissus Keepsake when we know we're only ever going to get 1. So, I mean, I guess regardless of which one of these take, the Narcissus Keepsake option is basically no longer gonna work very well. So I think we're probably gonna take you, because at least we still keep our magic restoration boon that we like. We do brick, or at least make it very difficult to do Narcissus Keepsake, but we can just pick up an attack boon that starts off at a high rarity, and then we don't have to worry about not being able to rarefy that with Narcissus Keepsake. There is always the chance that, yes, this could rarefy what is starting off as a very weak boon, but given how this is only common rarity, it's going to take a while for that to happen, and we don't know what it's going to land on. So I think we're taking this. It's arguably a net negative. So, given the choice in hindsight, I might have just not even taken that boon at all. The one thing that I thought we might have noticed at one point, though, when we used Steady Growth in the past, was that the very first time it procs, or at least technically every time it procs, I suppose, it chooses which boon it's going to upgrade immediately. And so it can only select boons that are currently available. So like Steady Growth, we've had it for a few rooms now. Obviously, it would be able to hit you if you weren't already maximum rarity, but you are. So, what was the second boon that we picked up? Was it possibly the... I think it was Quick Buck. I think it was the only other boon that we had when we acquired Steady Growth, so it might actually be guaranteed to hit Quick Buck. Unless, of course, we do end up using Narcissus Keepsake. Narcissus Keepsake hits you, in which case, maybe Steady Growth just totally randomizes what it lands on at that point. I don't know. But here is the boss, Polyphemus. It's been a while since we've seen him.
You show up in a while. Glad
Indeed.
you're back. Been gone so long, it's really been eaten into my sleep schedule.
For a moment there, I thought you were genuinely pleased at my return. Would you just want me to render you unconscious?
Yeah, that or stand still long enough for me to eat you up. But you don't seem interested in that, so I'll just go for the unconscious thing. I'm easy to please.
Alright. Let's hit him with the freeze. Oh, that was silly to have to resist that. Oh, that would have been a very good opportunity to do this as well. I did have to use a resistance there as well, I think. Again, kind of silly. Oh yeah, and I think we just saw how much damage the cast can do, and it's actually pretty crazy. I mean, it's what, level 9 heroic rarity, so you'd expect that to be the case. Wish that was freezing him, because then I would have used the Hex. There we go. How much will I nab some of these guys? If you want to land in that, that'd be great. Didn't quite, though, I don't think. Oh no, that's very unfortunate timing.
I stop you good for nothings.
Please stop jumping around as I'm trying to hit you. Freeze. It's annoying. Now you can sneak up behind him as he's doing that. Oh, he did. Whoop, nope, hold on. A little too eager there. Didn't realize he was going into that phase either. Something else. Throw out the special for... Ooh, hello. More range. There we go. He'll get his sleep after all.
Eat that. I can use this.
So tired.
And I actually forgot that we technically have the damage from our dash that we got from the Jeweled Palm Hades boon. Okay, lots of golden oh. They were not pleased with me. Because of the damaging dash. Okay, so if we want to do the Narcissus Keepsake, let's just take one final look. It's either hitting you, or you. So that's kind of unfortunate, just how we have very little sense as to which one it's going to land on. I mean, this was the final edition, the one that we weren't really planning on taking, but were more or less forced into choosing. It's maybe not the worst thing to get that extra rarity on, because if we are truly using our charge attack all the time, then that's actually a ton of damage. So it might not be that bad. Maybe we stick with it. And fingers crossed. Quick Buck. Okay. So that's good. As I said, that is maybe the one that we expected to get the rarification from Steady Growth, but this is only giving us one tier of rarification. Now, this might have technically been the better thing to get upgraded, because that means it's going to then rarify everything else more quickly. But we know it's not going to hit you, so now, I mean, it could rarify anything except for this or this. So I don't think Bridal Glow can be rarified anymore, nor do I know what it... Well, I guess it maybe would retroactively give one more level to Arctic Ring. That's what it landed on, didn't it? So in that case, yeah, there are very few things Steady Growth can hit. Probably going to be one of you two. Okay. Then let's check here. And now, wait, how much extra money do we get? It's 50% for the rest of the run. Which means, yeah, we can probably do things like pick up Centaur Hearts. And we still have the... Oh, I did not even see you. We still have the random boon? Yeah, mystery boon that we got from the mini shop on that previous floor a while back.
Let me show you the way.
Excuse me, I believe it's pronounced Due.
See you in the crossroads.
We've showed him Due. Onward we go. So we still don't have a lot in terms of boons that actually directly boost our damage. And I knew that he was going to do that. But I was thinking that our cast was going to be quick enough to stop him before we got hit. Apparently, that was not the case. And we also, if we wanted to, just like freeze people while we go to pick up the plasma. Oh right, I kind of forgot about the whole Selene thing. In part because we didn't end up getting the duo we were looking for. I do still like this boon. We are on 110 life right now, and we will get 25 more in 3 encounters. I mean, from a shop purchasing standpoint, I believe the life is worth more than the Selene. If we can get Apollo to show up... Oh, also, hello.
Go, Rocky.
If we can get Apollo to show up, then suddenly this becomes a lot more valuable. I guess we still take it. ¿Dónde están los enemigos? Aquí. That's not who are they? What did she say? Excuse me?
Grow strong under the stars.
Pretty sure I heard her wrong, but it sounded like she said a not very nice word. Okay, let's see. So the reason why I was interested was because, oh, yeah, that is great for damage, but does that mean we don't see the one that allows us to move while we're using this? Because that is the key thing you want. Fires for longer. This big burst of damage. First time it deals damage. Yeah, oof. We have to stick around in the same spot and probably get annihilated by enemies as we're using it, except that the freeze potential we have on our other boons makes it a little bit safer. I'm thinking we go top half, because combining this with this, I think, makes a lot of sense. That is obviously also still good, but I think it makes more sense for us to go this route, and then not a big fan of the armor, although it does make it a little bit safer to use it. Since even if you do get hit, it's, you might functionally mitigate most, if not all, of the damage. But I think, either way, we're not going to have enough to get to any of the notable stuff. If we go here, that means we need 3 more to get you, which is potentially doable with 1 more Selene upgrade. So maybe we do go that route.
Illumination.
It is
I think we got everything in here. And we're posting those guys, the ones that lunge at you from a mile away. That's probably pretty good use. Oh, excuse me, you were standing in my freezing cast. How did you attack?
Just what you wanted, right?
Oh, was Hephaestus?
See all those Chronos ships trudging this way, Witchy? Most of them already sunk before, over many times. They and their dead crews keep coming back to haunt us. Now that's some dedicated service, eh?
And we definitely would have preferred to have seen Apollo. That's the one person who we... Well, it's the one who combines with our Hex to give us the duo. We've yet to see him. Let's see here. Attacks and specials do a bunch of bonus damage to armor. Weapon does bonus damage to armor... Or does bonus damage based on how much armor we have, and we get some now. Or we get his dash, which does decent burst of damage. Oh, also, Steady Growth did just upgrade something. It upgraded Fine Line. I think that gained something like 30 damage. I think that was 175 before. I think I mean, if we had a lot of armor, this would be better, because we're trying to build around the attack, but we don't even have an attack boon yet, and we only have 75 armor from this, which is not a crazy amount. Technically, yes, we can temporarily get more when we're using our Hex, but we can't attack while we're using our Hex at the moment, so that doesn't really make much of a difference. So for those reasons, also if we're thinking about infusions long-term, Ares has an Earth Infusion, Hephaestus is also Earth Infusion. I think it's been a while since we've seen Demeter's, but that's water. And then Hera's is a combination. You need, actually, Hera's Infusion would be kind of useful. Hera's Infusion gives, or would have been more useful earlier on. It gives you, it bumps every boon up to a minimum of rare rarity. So it would be perhaps the only way at this stage to rarefy steady growth. So getting a fire boon is the thing that would get us the closest to that. Okay, maybe we'll take the dash in that case. Oh, I did not really mean to do that, or that. Oh, we established we really don't need bones anymore. It does give us even more magic, but let's go for the life. I think that's going to be more meaningful for us. Ooh, hold on.
More ashes.
Okay, and there is a delayed life. Now we're up to 140. That's not amazing, but it's decent. And we're still not at the end of this run, or this floor yet. Do you see the trove? Whoa, hello to you, and I do not want to be standing there. Things are about to get a little fiery. If you want to walk through that, maybe get burned and frozen simultaneously, that works for me. We have to wait until the last encounter before we can do this, right? I mean, I guess we get stronger along the way as well, so that makes sense. It is optimal.
Oh.
We can get more life if we want to, but yeah, I think that's kind of overkill. We would probably benefit most from more plasma stuff. I mean, yes, we still don't have an attack boon, and that is a very big deal. So I don't want to downplay that, but as I was saying before, Ares is maybe not the person we would have ideally seen us getting an attack boon from. Who's left? You are left. You are running around. You're left as well. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. I mean, if you want to hop into our cast, though, that is actually very convenient. I do appreciate that.
In the name of Hades.
Okay, so we get the special. We get extra damage based on, or chance to do double damage depending on how much life we've lost. Or we can double down on the plasma after either we take damage or an enemy is slain. I think we do want this, and then suddenly it means getting the legendary boon from Ares becomes very good, because this legendary is based on the plasma. It, automatically makes it come to you, so you don't need to pick it up. And then it also, I think, might double the effects of it. So I do really like mutual destruction in theory, and we do have enough life for it to already be interesting and potentially very good long-term. And it is epic rarity here, but I'm going to resist the urge, because I think we have some nice synergistic potential here. Oh! Speaking of synergistic potential, get even more Ares, or in a vacuum I'd usually say Hermes. We have already gotten at least one of the key Hermes boons with the highly leveled quick buck. It's still early enough, there are some other ones we would benefit from. I think we're still going for this though, again, trying to commit to big time Ares value. It is really nice when they all just jump straight into our pass. We are already seeing there's a lot of plasma to be had here. Oh, and then there's also, oh no, it's a duo boon with Ares, and I forget who else, that makes it so that you carry over some of your plasma from one room to the next. So we can build it up more easily over time. If we get a whole bunch, then we don't waste it all, or we don't lose it all the moment we walk into the next room.
Olympus, I accept this message.
So let's see. There is Mutual Destruction. Once again, the very nice rarity. Or his Infusion. Now, it is, I think, the highest threshold. You need to get to 8 Earth Boons. We're only halfway there right now, but it is one of the best in terms of how much it gives you. 50% damage. So, at least on Olympian bonus damage, which I think means, like, the cast stuff from this would get boosted because we have an Olympian boon effect, but the attack I don't think would benefit from it at all at the moment because we don't have an attack boon. Obviously, we would like to change that sometime in the near future, though. So, I think, how much life do we have? It's 140. I think we have Ares Precedent, and basically all of his boons are Earth. And then we also have Hephaestus, who gives a combination of Earth and Fire. Hera gives a little bit of everything. I think Demeter can give some Earth boons, so we have decent potential to rack up Earth boons, even if in the short term this does nothing for us.
There.
And then you give us gold. Let's do it.
Come, you thieves.
I completely win. I also should have been doing that. Yeah, it's very slow at this point.
They're gone.
We don't have a lot of pure damage. We do have a little more money to work with. It's more Ares, and this time higher rarity as well from the mini-boss. Okay, now it's been a long time since we've been on the surface. It's been an even longer time than we've seen some of the mini-bosses. I can't even remember. There's the pirate guy with a gun, and then there's obviously Charybdis. And given our lack of damage, that's going to be a bit of a struggle. In either case, I would think. I'm not really sure which one we prefer to see. Maybe the pirate dude, which I'm sure means that I've now jinxed this to give us Charybdis. I have, in fact, done just that.
Got some new tentacles, I see.
Hello, buddy old pal. Might be a good one to do this, though. Probably not going to be possible, except ideally close enough that it actually hits the enemies. Okay, I believe this is where he's going to do a bazillion, projectiles, which are going to be a real pain in the butt. But we could potentially play this slow and steady. Whoop, hold on. Dropping a whole bunch of those casts. Try to whittle away at one of them at a time. Suddenly it at least becomes, a little less daunting of a task. Now we can get 2 at once, which is also nice. Oh, and also the first one had the most life. Unless we were actually hitting one of them without even realizing it. Oh, okay, nope, never mind. That's fine. Just wait patiently enough, and they will all go down. Oh, I do remember this being a pain. It turns into a bullet hell, which I don't particularly like, because, oh my goodness, did you see how much damage each individual hit does? It's 13. We got hit by multiple in quick succession, because I had no choice but to eventually walk into a corner there, and he does it again! Not as badly this time, but my goodness. I remember why I did not like Charybdis before, at least in part. Dash as well. Dash here. Not really dash in the direction I'd intended to. User error in that case, not any sort of controller issues or anything like that, but still. Okay, there's another one down. I was stuck in a melee animation that I did not want to be stuck in. Having the extra speed is also probably pretty useful in this situation. Oh. Okay, please go away, projectiles. Okay, I think the key is that you need the iframes from a dodge to carry you through that. I missed. Almost down. Now if we do this, should get us pretty close. In fact, that will do the trick. Okay, so yeah, Charybdis is nasty, especially when you have 0 DPS.
You'll soon be back for more, won't you? In we go.
Okay, now hopefully even more potential to load up on crazy Ares synergies.
Olympus, I accept this message.
Okay, let's see. We can get his attack. We can get what is now a lower rarity version of Mutual Destruction, but we might take it nonetheless. Charge cast creates blade rifts. No, it's the charge attack that we're really using more than anything. Didn't have many chances to do it in this encounter because we had to dodge around so much. I'm thinking it might still end up being Mutual Destruction. I know obviously it's worse than the other versions we'd seen before. And yes, an attack boon would still be very useful right now. We are going to see the next round of Steady Growth proc very soon. Chances of it landing on the attack are quite low, but I'm thinking we're probably going to end up taking the Calling card on the next floor, which allows us to rarefy boons before we even take them, and that would be a really nice way to lock in a higher rarity attack boon. Yes, it means if we delay not getting an attack boon until then, that we're not going to have one for the upcoming Ares fight, which is going to be painful, but maybe we can still get by? Possibly? So I'm thinking it is Mutual Destruction here, and obviously any of those things were going to be Earth boons, which means we are getting closer to the infusion value. But we are not there yet. Ooh, it is good time. A good time for a Cersei showing. A little bit of max life, a little bit magic as well. Oh, sorry, piggies.
Evening, little pigs.
She's back, piggies!
She is, and she accidentally attacked you with her damaging dash.
How is old Skiller lately, anyhow? I hadn't heard that she descended to your depths. You said she's banded with some sirens, yes? For what? To sing their songs?
Banded in a few different ways. It's quite the pun.
Well, yes. She longs for fame above all else, and to drown things. I've had to put a stop to her performances now more than a few times. The Book of Shadows I possess states she's the victim of a witch's curse. Do you know whose?
Oh?
Oh, what an interesting book that one must be. I do not curse, Poppet. My practice is about revealing the true nature of a thing. When last I checked, Skiller had made hers clear.
Alright, if you say so. Upgrade 2 of our Arcana cards. They are all upgraded, and we went the longest time without taking this because it was almost always the case. We can shrink in size, become faster, and get a chance to dodge. We can get bigger, get more max life, and get more damage. Well, we have the potential to improve our speed from all the plasma. So we can double down on that. Or Mutual Destruction, getting more life, so we can lose more life and get more damage bonuses proccing from it. Means we'd benefit from this, and obviously it also just gives us pure damage as well. Which is something we are a little sorely lacking at the moment. And I still don't really know. I kind of suspect that this affects the size of Malinois's hitbox. So you technically get hit less often here, and you get hit more often here. Although that's sort of unwritten, and I can't really confirm that. So in general, I think I do prefer to go the smaller route for that reason.
What have I done?
And you get the voice changing as well, of course. Okay, let's see what we can do here. Okay, I wasn't sure if that was going to count as a riposte. I was willing to try, though. I suppose that's really our best source of damage right now, is just farming the crits. That was not enough to get rid of your armor, at least not in of itself. And if we do start farming up a whole bunch of plasma...
Sailing on.
One moment. Oh, and it was Mutual Destruction. Hello. It just got verified from Steady Growth, so there you go. We got the epic Mutual Destruction after all. And we ideally would have more life, so we could lose more life to get this really being more of a factor, but that's, you know, it's more of a long-term thing, I suppose. And I'm thinking we're definitely going Palm here. Faster still.
you.
I'd like to get that. There we go. Okay, you know, it is probably still our best source of damage at the moment, but I still don't think we'd like that to remain the case. And then this improves the cooldown. We do technically also have the damage from you, which also debuffs enemies, which I always forget about. So technically it does make our dash more, should make it so that our dash is more of a key piece in our setup, or we get even more plasma, which, if we get the legendary Ares boon that makes all the plasma automatically come back to us, then that becomes very convenient, or very good as well. But as we're already starting to see, sometimes so much plasma is dropping that if I try to make a point of picking it up before it expires, then I'm gonna get in trouble in other ways, so just want to be a little mindful of that. I think maybe we go here.
Now for the next one.
Oh, okay, and I think this is probably the penultimate room. Yeah, I think so. So we have lots of money, as we would probably expect to be the case, given how we have what is now a fully upgraded quick buck.
To the next vessel.
We didn't see very many mini shops, which means we weren't able to get additional optional stuff all that much. I think we're going here and then here. That lands on Visceral Impact. I don't even remember what that is. What is that? Oh. Okay, more plasma stuff. Then you...
On my authority.
Let's see. You can get an attack boon. But again, it's common rarity, which is not great. I still think we're probably waiting a little bit longer on that. We're definitely not doing that, because we're building around the plasma pretty significantly at this point. I think we're looking at making the blast effect stronger, and then on the next floor, once we theoretically, likely, take the calling card, we can get a rarefied version of Volcanic Strike and benefit from this for that reason, or just take a different high rarity attack boon using the calling card to set it up. So, in the short term, that just made our dash stronger is the primary thing that benefited from that. So yeah, the dash, it's basically a hit and run playstyle at the moment. Drop the cast, run away to hit with the dash, and when you have the chance, try to use a charge attack, but there may not be that many opportunities to do that. We technically do benefit from this for healing, although we technically benefit from this when we don't have healing, so I think we're going to go without it, save a little bit of monies, and spend aggressively in the mini shop after this fight, assuming we make it through, of course. Eris has been a problem in the past.
Aw, look! You brought an ugly little bird with you.
Excuse me?
As close as you're ever gonna get to wings like these, babe. But you have to walk everywhere. No wonder you're so unhappy.
Is this the first time we brought Rocky to the Eris fight? Surely not, right?
I am not unhappy. And I took a boat most of the way here, thanks. Multiple boats. And I'm not about to let you insult Rocky to my face. Or his.
Babe, come on. That bird is so pale, it's probably dying. Here, maybe I can put it out of its misery. And you too.
Actually, Eris, we've used one of the alternate skins for Rocky, and so he is not very pale, thank you very much. The heads, and we actually do get bonus damage after we use it, so should make a point of doing it. Extra speed from that, which is kind of nice. Oh, I was not paying any attention at all to that, and I think we didn't get hit, which is kind of surprising for that reason. Did see that one coming. I was getting greedy, so it was a little lucky that I didn't get hit, because I was charging up the attack.
Oh, yeah.
One moment. That. It's probably not the best time to do that. Oh, this is a bad place to be standing for this. One moment. Oh, she can destroy that. One of
Here you
those.
go.
No, don't do that. That probably would have been a good time to do this. Freeze is definitely helping a lot. Extra movement speed as well. Oops, I meant to freeze her first. Oops. Got the wrong sequencing there. If that blows up on you, that'd be kind of nice. It might have just been out of range, though. Dash. Then we'll hit you with this. Please just do it. There we go. Where'd you go? There we go. Don't think we got hit.
The hell without a fight. Buzz off.
Alright.
Tucked
Some of
away.
these. Pick up one of those. Or I never noticed this before. These are the wrappers that she leaves in the crossroads. Oh, that's clever. I never noticed that before. I should have.
All set.
Okay. So, of course, it's been a while since we were last here on Olympus. No longer going with the Narcissus Keepsake. So, and we don't need the extra healing, so we can, switch to something else here. I do think we are in need of the calling card to help set up a good attack boon. Do this. Let's see, do we have anything that we're still waiting to get delivered? Doesn't look like we are. Hermes boon, and also Selene after 8 encounters. Wow, this comes quickly. This does not. In fact, this costs more than it would usually cost from a typical shop, but given that we have the cash,
Looking forward to this.
I think it is still worth it. In fact, you could even argue for the expedite here. But I think we'll pass for now, because, 8 rooms means it will probably get delivered right around the end of this floor. And if we have other mini shops mid-floor, then we probably could make a stronger case for expediting those deliveries, since the, making sure we have them for the final floor, the entirety of the final floor, would probably be pretty meaningful. A little bit of our money's there. Ooh, and there. Almost missed that. 53. Wow, okay. Well, that would have paid for the expedite cost in and of itself. Hello, please don't do that. Yeah, the attack damage is still abysmal. Make no mistake. We have to go... Yes, we get more value from this than we would usually get. That is true, but we have to go hammer here. And we're looking for the attack boon, or the attack upgrade. We saw one, or he's the attack upgrade. There are multiple we could get, of course. But we passed on at least one attack upgrade last time to try to progress a prophecy. So we'd like to prioritize this time something that actually benefits us on this current run a little bit more. Here's what I mean. To a certain extent, it's like, okay, we drop so much plasma, but it takes a while to run around and pick it all up. At which point, it becomes a bit of a hindrance. These guys are going to be a bit of a pain to deal with. Ooh, how did we not get hit by that? Oh, it wasn't even... I didn't even realize it was the guy who was all the way on this side. I mean, that if that doesn't speak to just how much range these guys have, I don't know what does. Because, yeah, that's ridiculous. I've said it many times before, of course. But I think that was a prime example. I guess it doesn't matter at the end of the encounter picking that stuff up anymore. Never has. And it never will unless we get that boon that gives us the chance to carry them over. Okay, so charge special channels, or we get other special stuff, or we get base 20 damage on the attack. I think we need this.
Fine work as always.
And that means percentage-based hits will definitely help. Oh, does this reduce the area of effect of our attacks, though? I was talking about reducing our hitbox. That definitely looks like that's a smaller area of effect. Oh, dear. I didn't even realize that. What are we looking to level up? Not entirely sure, but it's definitely better than magic at this stage. Please don't do that. It's disrespectful. Even charge attack still does not do that much damage. Oh, please don't do that. Oh, okay, that was the Hermes delivery. Delayed Hermes. Which, ooh, all common rarity stuff. Although, we can potentially get another Earth boon, bringing us... Oh, we can rarefy as well. Right, now these are probably not the things that we were as keen on getting. Although, success rate actually is kind of interesting. Because there's at least one thing that I know that's going to... It affects a whole bunch of Ares stuff. The 2 different plasma dropping boons, but also mutual destruction, which, sure, on full life is a 0% chance right now, so it's not going to make a very big difference there, but 1, 2, 3. There might even be more than that. It doesn't affect dodge chance. I think that's pretty interesting. I wish it was an Earth boon, because then we'd be getting closer to activating this infusion, which we picked up a little while ago now. We made a little progress toward it, but still have a ways to go yet. I feel like we have 6 rarifications, and we're using this on the 3rd floor, so there aren't that many more opportunities to do it. We obviously want to save it for an attack boon. We want at least some rarifications waiting in the wings for that, but I think we can still do this. A 60% greater chance is kinda insane. Look at that. And then we can potentially make these even stronger still. I think we have to do this now. More cash. We can get even more cash. Let's see if there's anything else here. Doesn't seem like it. Ooh, or it's Hera. We were saying that the Hera attack boon might be the best option for us, at least of the various gods and goddesses that we've seen thus far. So I'm thinking we probably do go this route, and we still have over 500. Probably gonna be above 600 by the time we get through this room. Gold, and there is a mini shop. Oh, and there is a chaos room. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Hey, buddy old pal. I'm surprised I didn't repose, because I was kind of running straight into a whole bunch of their whirlwinds. But I don't really know how one reposts a whirlwind, but maybe that's beside the point. Oh, ow. Please stop doing that. Did you walk into the cast? A little bit, maybe, possibly. You know what? Have it your way.
Good.
Okay, and we did get something rarefied. I think it was this, the dash. Okay, and I think it actually... Does that improve the cooldown time rather than the damage? I think that might be the case. I think that was 5-second cooldown before. Okay, so now we go here.
Olympus, I accept this message.
Let's see, we can get the attack and we can rarefy it. Or we can take this infusion, which we are 1 air boon away from getting, which means we are quite close. What would it land on at this point, though? Because we have already rarefied several things. It would rarefy steady growth. But since it's not proccing immediately, we'd need to still get 1 more earth boon. By the time that or 1 more air boon, rather. By the time that happens, we probably don't have that much more time to benefit from the incremental rarity on steady growth. Is there anything else that gets hit by it? I don't know that there is. So I think we're probably just rarefying this and then calling it a day. And that's really all we could have asked for from the calling card. This is why we took it right here.
Granted.
The sacred bond.
So no longer a factor. The keepsake. Ooh. Demeter is good, which does make me wonder... Oh, actually, hold on. Before we do that, there's a mini shop here that I want to make sure we don't skip, because we can potentially benefit a lot from one or maybe even both of these things.
Delivery coming soon.
I think we do that. And I won't expedite. That way we do still have a lot of money to work with. There is certainly still a case to be made for expediting, but I think we'll be okay. And we have a lot of stuff that's going to show up around the same time. Path of Stars, Centaur Heart, and more... Oh, I didn't realize we had another Path of Stars that we were waiting on. Okay. So... I think we might prefer this, to be honest with you. I think there are definitely some nasty chaos boons, or chaos curses, that could throw us off. And yes, picking up this attack boon is a huge difference maker. So maybe we can weather the storm a little bit more now than we could just a little while ago, but I don't know what particular Demeter boons we'd be looking for, but I feel like we can make good use out of this. One moment. I'm actually just trying to pick up the plasma. Don't mind me. That's a lot of projectiles. Does also mean a lot of plasma. Still another wave. Wow. This can be an Athena room. It might even be. At this point. I mean, we've kind of been able to take this slow and steady, courtesy of the freeze stuff. It hasn't been as nasty as it might have otherwise been, but alright. There we go.
Hear me, on my authority.
Let's see. So we can't rarefy anymore. Charge cast does more damage. Cast creates a gust. I think we're probably going for this. I know we don't have a special boon right now, but we kind of... I mean, we took one hammer upgrade just for prophecy completion purposes, which I think was special-oriented. Yeah, but it's not really part of the plan. Not really using charge cast. We're using base cast and then charge attack. So I think this works. Our cast does have a lot of damage because it's level 9 and it's heroic rarity. So it does still make it a little more effective. That is nice. And then... do this. Next choice is going to be kind of tricky, though. This is going to be lightning fast. There we go. Okay, this is tricky. Well, that's the equivalent of an air boon, which does mean we are now eligible for that infusion from Hera that we turned down before, but as I said, we didn't really know when it was going to activate, and even now still wouldn't have had really that much time to benefit from extra rarity on only one boon. Now, it might be 2, yeah, would also affect you now, for what it's worth, but this is tricky, because we have a lot of gold, so we can get aggressive on this optional mid-floor shop, or we can get a free, higher rarity Hephaestus boon from a mini-boss. And this could be a kind of interesting test to see, now that we have a higher rarity attack boon, just how effective does that make us? Let's go for it. That's the dragon.
Returned.
And so now the cast is even more of an actual damage dealing move. Oh, I was dashing out of the way. Oh, I think I might have bumped into that part in the middle, which technically does not prevent you, or does not allow you to walk through it, somewhat surprisingly. So I was like, yeah, I was doing everything that I was supposed to do to avoid getting hit by that, which felt a little strange that I did get hit for that reason. Might have been far enough away that I was still safe. armorless, which means we can just do this. And we certainly have the speed to stun lock you.
What say you,
Okay,
Homer?
I think we got hit once or twice, but in the grand scheme of things, not too bad for a mini-boss fight, and technically we do get stronger when we take damage.
Olympus, I accept this message.
Okay, so, get armor at the start of encounters, do extra damage to armor, would have been helpful for this. I think we turned that down at some point. Or we get the basic special boon. I think we might go security system. It is, the only earth boon here, which could be reason enough, because that brings us just one away from activating you, which would be really useful at this point. It's more Selene. Okay, at this point, given how we are getting very close to getting a whole lot of Selene showing up, I have to think that means we're getting awfully close to not really benefiting from Selene anymore. We're probably getting almost to the point where we're going to have all the possible Selene upgrades we can ask for. Or at least all the particularly useful ones. Still have yet to see Athena. Now, she doesn't necessarily show up on every run, of course, but it's potentially still someone we might have our eyes out for. I was trying to activate that statue just then, but I did not quite get close enough to do it. Oh, you didn't get frozen, and you blocked me. Or you got frozen and still were able to attack for some reason. Something didn't add up there. That was strange. Okay, our attack is doing both modes more damage now. And with all the speed we get from the plasma, that also makes it much more significant too. High base damage, at least for the blades, high base damage, and then also the speed to go along with it. Okay, so with 3, we can now get up to the Trinity if we want. It does mean that it costs a lot more to charge this up, but I think we've been charging it up pretty quickly. It's more so than I've been held back by opportunities to safely use it rather than it taking too long to charge. So I think we'll take even more armor. Not that that's really what we're trying to get, but then either of these probably work. Let's go power over time and do this, and we know that we're going to see a lot more Selene very soon. Did take a fair bit of damage there. We don't have that much life, which we could rectify a bit here, or take Demeter. So are any of these... Oh, one of these was a Centaur Heart. Yeah. Okay, so we are getting a little bit from that. I think we'd like to be around 200 by the time we reach the boss at the end of this floor, and we are getting close to the end of this floor. I think I might still go for this. It's a little more aggressive, a little more optimistic. Oh, the healing. Again, technically means less damage from you, but it does mean that our somewhat lackluster life is now less of a concern.
In the name of Hades.
For the rest of this floor, at least. Ooh. Blast from Hephaestus. Deal more damage to freeze afflicted foes. I think that is almost always going to be active, because we are trying to freeze as many people as possible with this cast, and we're getting the Hephaestus hammer from the dash, so if we freeze with the cast and then dash out of the way, that works quite well. And then this room is not great, but we can get slightly more life. Is that statue in the middle? It's a mini shop. Oh, and we also, I forgot, the extra armor for only the first few seconds, which I did end up wasting. I mean, not deliberately, but because I just couldn't find the enemies. Okay, now you see how much plasma that one dude dropped? Okay, I did get hit by that, unfortunately. Couldn't get the cast down quickly enough. This also seems like a very busy room, which, again, does make me wonder if we might be going to see an Athena appearance. But no, not necessary. Okay, so we'll get a little bit of life from you, and here is the one of several delayed Selene deliveries. And so here we can now have it do extra damage the first time it hits, More damage for the rest of the encounter while we're at it, and then probably start making progress toward having it fire even longer, which we should be able to land on once we get the next Selene delivery, which is 1 room away from happening. It's the extra max life that's coming last. And we might be able to get some more deliveries here, because we are sitting on almost 800 gold. And there is another mini shop. There is a normal shop right after this, which we may still want to have enough money for. And then, of course, if we make it through the Prometheus fight, there will be a mini shop in between floors. So don't want to spend everything here, but it's pretty tempting to double up, especially since, these get delivered, or at least this gets delivered very quickly. This one, I might be half tempted to expedite, just because if we don't, that means it's going to show up, I think, not quite at the end of the last floor, but close to it. And although we have gotten a lot of Selene, we now have a better sense of, okay, with one more Selene upgrade, which we're going to see very soon, I think we can either... we actually might not even be able to reach that other notable point that makes us increase the length of the cast, or rather the hex. And then obviously 3 more points in that case does get us that, plus a little bit of other odds and ends. Some of the small stuff that in some cases could still be quite good. So I think it's worth it. It's just a matter of how much does it cost. It's 36 to expedite. Let's do it. It's almost nothing. So we do this. And that means, okay, yes, we've just enough to get you, and then the next Selene upgrade gives us, I think, enough points for, if not everything else, all but 1 point. Charges up more quickly automatically, that is nice, especially since we did increase the cost of it recently. More damage the longer it lasts, and it lasts longer. Now, ideally, we would have the one that makes it so that we can run around while the hex is going, so that way there's no downside. You can have it do the full duration blast with no concerns whatsoever, but we may need to bail early, given how we do need to be standing there, and if we don't bail early, we could get absolutely slammed. Okay, I am still going to go here, though. We still have enough money that I think we should be able to do some interesting things here, and even those little guys, 15 extra gold, that's nothing to snuff at, because now I think we can do still both of these. And then we'll probably do this first. I don't really know what we're aiming for. Probably this, to be honest. Yeah, I think. Then we take you. We do have a lot of Demeter stuff. And we could, even though we've turned this down many times before... Oh, I do love this. The thing is, even if this doesn't directly help us that much, because I'm barely ever, if ever, using the charge cast, it does get us up to 8 Earth Boons. So suddenly the Rallying Cry gets activated and we get a ton of extra damage from that. Or we get Freeze Duration, which is really useful, because we are freezing as many things as we possibly can. I think I'm still going to take this. And we're just going to try to find another way to get an Earth Boon before we encounter Typhon. Which should be doable, as long as we save some money. So, like, I'm not going to buy that, just to be absolutely certain we have the opportunity to get the stuff we need. And here's Prometheus. A little bit more gold here as well.
Agent of change. The demons your companion Dora inadvertently set free, every ill that could befall mortal kind. Most all of them yet plague the gods as well.
Okay, you can't put that on Dora, given how we've learned that you had a lot to do with that. If anything, you're to blame for that.
Existence has its hardships. I'm very familiar with many of these demons, and they are nuisances. But their power has its limits, and they can be driven back.
Perhaps. But mortals tend to have a harder time of it than you, don't you see? So long as they suffer, so shall we all.
Yeah, it's not like by having the Titans, namely Prometheus and Kronos, win, that the demons are going to suddenly disappear. It's not going to be any better with you than it is with the gods and goddesses. Oh. I only through sheer luck happened to miss the first hit that the eagle tried to do against us, and then of course later on it did end up hitting me. No, don't run away from the castle. Over there, ow. Miss. Got the timing all wrong. That was weird. I was charging it up for a long time and it was not doing anything to actually do a charge attack. There you see just how effective the cast damage can be. I almost dashed into that. It was a good thing that I was slow on the dash that time. Just hang out in there. That's fine. Oh, yes. Ooh, and he only just barely missed. He's going to do the memory phase pretty soon. Ah, oh, that second part was really bad. I was about to say the first part is very avoidable.
Now then.
Here it is. Okay.
Go back.
Middle. Bottom. Top. Middle. Bottom. Ooh, get over there. Top. Eagle's back, possibly, maybe. Well, his friends certainly are. I think it's kind of nice, even if we don't technically need to defeat all of his ads. Doing so does give us extra plasma spawning potential, especially over a long boss encounter like this does start to add up. No, I was dashing out of it, but that is the tricky thing about any weapon. If you get caught in the animation, or you get caught in the combo, like the triple hit combo, then the game really does not like to let you cancel out of that dash, ever. Usually it's not as big of a deal with the blades, because the blades are obviously the fastest weapon. We also have yet to use the Hex, which I will do soon, but given how... given how... Yeah, this is about to happen. Okay, let's see. Middle, top, middle, top, middle. Basically just alternate between these two every time. I don't know if we've ever seen that happen before. Not a great place for that, to be honest with you. Oh, that, unfortunately, did not seem to hit him nearly as much as I thought it did. Seemed like that was going to be really effective until it wasn't. Okay, can you please not stand in the fiery part? So I can, oh, ideally not get hit by that. There we go. Okay, it did take a lot of damage from that.
If you could see what I've foreseen, you'd not believe it anyhow.
Sure, buddy. Yeah, definitely not our cleanest Prometheus fight we've ever had, but...
Special delivery.
That's what he just said. That's his line. Here's the additional Selene stuff, and now, at this point, I think we'll probably skip you to get more damage for the rest of the encounter, more damage for the rest of the encounter, and more damage the longer we use it for. So now there's one remaining Selene upgrade we can potentially get, like a single point, which means if we do find a Selene room, or even the option to buy Selene from any shops or mini shops, we should probably pass on it, because it's also extra armor, which usually is completely useless. Given how we still can't move with the Hex active, there's technically still a little bit of a use case for it, but okay. So now, probably gonna keep this simple, I suppose, and go with something to help us against Typhon, one of these guys. Maybe Knucklebones?
Alright.
And do this. Still not enough to fully heal us, which means we could potentially benefit from, well, any and all of the above, really. Obviously, this will be the final floor, which means if we get to the end of it, then there will be a super shop where we can potentially spend a whole lot of monies. But given how we're still not on full life, we know this is a dangerous floor, I'm out of practice, I do imagine we're gonna take several hits along the way, so getting delayed healing is kind of nice, so I think we get this and deliberately do not expedite. These ones, I think we take them both, and we probably don't expedite either of them, because we can't afford to expedite either of them. Okay, that'll have to do. And we've seen a lot of this stuff on this run. It's going to be Hermes. Oh, no. No, Shrine of Hermes. That just means the mini-shop. It's Mystery Boon first, then Centaur Heart, then Healing Centaur Heart, and... Oh, no, Mystery Boon. Yeah, okay. It's weird. It's not in the order that they're going to arrive. It's probably in the order that we picked them up, I guess. Okay. Well, let's carry on. We'll get a little bit of healing in between rooms here, of course.
Alright, Typhon.
So yeah, it feels like we're maybe a little bit lower on total life than we would like to be at this stage in the game, but since we have theoretically two Centaur Hearts that'll be delivered at that point, we're roughly on pace. But ideally, by the time we actually get to the Typhon fight, we will have added at least a little bit more life on top of that. Of course, as we said before, the more damage we take, the higher chance we have of dealing double damage, so it's actually, oddly enough, a bit of a benefit to us. Please don't dash away right as I'm trying to take you out. Oh. I missed an opportunity to get to that. Just a little more crowded than I would like it to be. Who was left? Oh, actually, multiple more, as it turns out. There we go. Okay.
Delivery arrived.
That's a Centaur Heart. Or no. Wait. Yeah, both of these were delayed deliveries, weren't they? Okay, so that's good. And then random Demeter, which means we were thinking about taking this before just because it's an Earth boon and it gives us the infusion. But this could be more useful. It gives us another way to heal, which, you know, I wouldn't turn down right now. Okay, no other resources for us to gather here, so I think we carry on. And yeah, we're already at 190 life, so even just that one extra life upgrade is a nice addition. Must say. Oh, I got stuck, and then that's not where I want to be standing either. I got stuck twice in a row. I got stuck almost that, you could argue, even that third time as well. So we just took a boatload of damage from that, and that stinks, because we're about to go into a mini-boss fight. Yeah. We can get super palms. We have, of course, basically everything that can be leveled up is at least level 4 because of the jeweled palm, so we're in diminishing return territory. Yeah, if we were to hit the attack boon, it's probably still pretty useful, but maybe it makes sense for us to go Ares. It's high rarity Ares, and if we can get his legendary for more plasma synergies, that'd be great. Otherwise, I mean, yeah, we don't have a special boon. I don't know that that's going to be a huge difference maker, but there are probably other things. He does have a healing boon when you're at low life, which would be kind of useful right now as well, so I think it makes more sense for us to go here. Let's see which of the mini-bosses we get. It's this guy. I feel like it might have been the worst one for us. Generally, I think I do prefer him. I don't know. Maybe because we have the cast we can drop for solid damage. I was slow on that dash there. That's, oh my god, that's so bad. Smashing again. It's not close enough to do anything to him. We do have the Hex now, which would be good to break out sometime fairly soon. Just want to try to drop that right on top of him whenever possible. That was closer than I would have liked it to have been, in all likelihood. Want to walk into that? You didn't, did you? You didn't really want to. close. That last hit in his combo kind of throws me off. It doesn't look like he has another hit in the combo. I think the double damage chance from Ares is proccing a lot, given how low our health is, which is actually kind of useful right now. Not gonna lie. I almost dodged into that. Last hit. Boom. I trapped myself! And I got hit twice by that, so that means we used the Death Defiance. That really stinks, but he is down now. I mean, it kind of looked like it was going to be headed in that direction when we saw how much life we lost so quickly in the previous room, but that was a bad way to throw at the very end of that encounter. It was definitely avoidable. And especially since I did see this fishing spot, which means we have the chance to heal here. And we are probably about to get a fair bit stronger right now.
I wish never to burden my mother the queen so heavy as her crown, but she insists on being here, perhaps believing that my aid alone shall not suffice. Is that quite so, mother?
Spare me your concern, Ares, and whilst in company, address me not as mother. If I cannot trust you with basic matters of decorum, why ever should I trust the efficacy of your blessings?
Okay, so the duo means whenever we exit the location, yeah, this is the one that has us keep some of our plasma from one room to the next, which is useful. Otherwise, I mean, this is also good, given how we're trying to use the charge attack a lot. It's harder to do against bosses, of course, but I think we will still go with this, because we do have... Oh, actually, not as much plasma as I would have thought in this fight. Let's go here, see what the mystery is. It's Hephaestus. Oh! Your aspect of the nocturnal arms is even stronger. I think we actually have seen... Can it go up an additional rank, even though it is supposed to be max rank here? That might be the case. Or automatically, the duo... use magic to resist damage. We've seen this before. It functionally turns your magic into additional life, which is pretty useful, especially given how much magic we have, except that does mean you will potentially find yourselves magic-less. We do have magic restoration, though, from this, and it is quite strong, so you could make the case for it. Otherwise, we get a good special boon, one that we obviously don't have anything in at the moment. I think we might go with this. We've been burned by this at least once before in the past. It was actually the reason why we lost at least one prior run, because we needed magic and we didn't have it. And I didn't even realize that we'd blown through all of it because I hadn't used it that aggressively at the time in the final fight with Kronos on that occasion. But I think given how we do have so much plasma potential, and that is our source of magic restoration, we should still be okay there.
Greater might.
Okay, now we get a little bit of healing here, assuming we can get this fish.
It's over.
Which we can.
Nasty storm gullet.
Gives us equivalent of a water boon in addition to some healing. Okay, I think that means we're eligible for the, I think we're eligible for the infusion from Demeter. Now this is just a normal room, with enemies in it, of course, but... Okay, there we are. Remember, we carry over some plasma, so there is reason to pick it up at the end. Definitely don't have enough fear to do that. That is pretty nice burst damage. Can't complain about that. When we are able to freeze and then just wail away with our attack, especially given how low our life is, our chance of getting the double damage is pretty high. There's the delayed healing. And I think actually getting max life first means the delayed healing is worth... no, it's still worth 78. It doesn't increase it. Oh, mini shop here. Okay, hold on. We'll take this. And it is well timed. Oh, didn't even see this. It's going to give us even more healing, theoretically, although we no longer need it. So last mini-boss, which means we're about to find the Kronos fight after this. And we have now gone through all of our delayed items. But we can potentially pick up... Okay, so we know this is not going to be useful. Or at least it does the tiniest of upgrades. And anything that we do get, I think, automatically gets delivered just before the Typhon fight, so we don't have to worry about things that have an 8 encounter delay. So we could get healing right after a mini-boss, which, depending on which one it is, may be meaningful. Max life, kind of useful. It's the same price it would be at a normal shop, and of course, we are going to be at the super shop immediately after this next encounter, so I think regardless, we're going to have very little that we can buy at that super shop. I don't know that there's that much that we're in desperate need of at this point, though, because we didn't end up getting the attack boon that we were looking for. We did end up getting enough earth boons to get this infusion. There are some nice-to-haves, maybe, but I don't know that there are any need-to-haves at this point. Again, we don't have a special boon, but I don't really think that's a problem right now. So, are we okay with this? I mean, more life does give us more potential for you, which especially against Typhon, we are likely to take a bunch of damage. So, you know, in a way, it's one of the best both offensive and defensive things for us to pick up. So I think we'll do it.
Shouldn't take too long.
And then we should, hopefully, still be able to get at least one thing from the next shop. So, if we're looking at these, I think there's one boon from each of them that's potentially intriguing. At least that comes to mind. For Hephaestus, he has the boon that gives you max life based on your magic. We have a ton of magic, so that would be really impactful. For you, we still don't have the legendary boon from you, which is all based around the plasma. Now that's obviously a greater risk that doesn't show up because it's higher rarity. This is supposed to be higher rarity because it is a mini-boss. But I think... Oh, also your infusion, Hephaestus, is likewise based on earth boons, and we have a lot of those, so we would benefit if we were to see that, so I think we go here. See which mini-boss it is. It's the Eye, which is probably the worst, almost certainly the worst of the two. Yeah, that does hit us when it spawns in, doesn't it? Probably should have anticipated that. Eye is just about dead, which means we move in here now. And wait for you to do something like this. Did not destroy the eyeball, and I did get hit in the process, which is annoying. And then I thought I was dashing. Timing such that I could take you out before you hit me. You'd think this would be a good room to pick up a whole bunch of the plasma. Should take you out. So many projectiles. There we go. Yeah, I'm sure we ended up taking a fair bit of damage there, but I think that is definitely the more dangerous of the mini-boss encounters.
Properly disgusting.
Any chance? Any extra gold you have around here? Nope, I'm afraid not. Okay.
In the name of
See what we get here. There's a couple of things that could be quite good. We see this again. Get the special... This is not super meaningful at this point. I'm not 100% sure. I know we've deliberately avoided taking this in the past because we thought surely you can't go above rank 5 on your weapon aspect. But then I thought there was one run where we just didn't have many alternatives, so we said, alright, we'll take it. And it actually did work. So let's see.
Yes.
Did it do anything? Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Okay, so now our Omega attack speed is even faster still. We can charge up the attack very, very quickly. And with 300 plus gold, we'll see if there are any golden urns in this room that could be impactful. If there are, can't buy much, but we should be able to get at least one thing.
Let's get back to it.
There's the delayed life. A little bit of gold. No more gold there. We can use this to... Oh. We can use this to get our Death Defiance back, which would be kind of nice. Because we did lose one of those. On the other hand, that would put us just out of range of being able to afford you, whereas if we take you, we can also get the life upgrade, which is a pretty nice combination. So then we're more where we want to be life-wise, And as I was saying, there are still a few Hephaestus boons that I think we could benefit from taking. So I think we're going for this.
In the name of Hades.
And... ooh. Okay, this is... we did not get the one that I was looking... either of the ones I was looking for. So... I think it's probably going to have to be you. It functionally gives us 75 extra armor against Typhon and a little bit of damage for the beginning, at least. But that's... I think it's, you know, just going to be better than that. We'll take you. We'll take you, and then we can't quite afford you, can we? Which, at this point, would have been meaningful because now we are getting damage from our armor. But okay, I mean, 270 will be almost right on that number once we walk through that door. We did use a Death Defiance, that is kind of unfortunate, but add on the armor and it means we're maybe a little worse off than we would like to be defensively here, or in terms of, like, you know, total life or effective life, but it's not miles off. We do have what is now a quite powerful attack setup, and that's gonna be the key. If we can squeeze in, and the cast as well, if we can squeeze in the charge attack, then it's even better, especially since we have the riposte, which I kind of need to remind myself of. But, okay, I think we're ready to go here, and we're gonna lose a portion of our plasma just from this room in which there was no potential to get plasma at all. That kind of stinks, because it would have been nice to go in with 20 plasma right off the bat. But here we are, for what could be the deciding, the definitive Typhon kill.
Just need to weaken him.
Oh, right, and there's the I keep saying choke. Rocking. Oh. Spawned all these guys. One moment, Typhon, I'd like to pick up all the plasma. Thank you. Then I'll do this. Run away! That did something, unfortunately. One of those, except I wasted resistance on that, unfortunately.
Where are you, Lord Uncle?
Projectiles are slower because of that as well. It's a good time to do this, and maybe this. Ooh, okay, no, that would have been... this would have been a very good time to have used the Hex, but I just wasted it. Sort of.
Fight on! This was as long as I could stay.
That's pretty nice damage, though. I am a fan of that. On to another ads phase already. I think that's a good sign. I think that means damage has been significant, because he does that at certain thresholds of life. Oh, please don't do that, though. I don't appreciate that. Here we go. Ads are down. We have a lot of extra quickness. Might be doing double now? He is. That's not many opportunities to sneak in the full duration of that as we kind of expected. I'll take the little tail hits to avoid the big tongue hit. That's a trade you have to take anytime. Like to use... okay, yep, see this incoming. Actually, good chance to do that. Don't push me away as I'm trying to dodge it. There we go. It's a little different when we're tiny. Alright, Typhon eradicated. So in theory, he's not coming back. We did get this proccing at the very end. I didn't see what it hit on. I think it was the one that gives us healing based on when we pick up crafting resources.
Some gemstones.
But it took us a little while to get the run really up and running, because we had to wait before we got the attack boon we wanted. But once we did, especially combined with the mutual destruction to an extent, but also rallying cry once we had enough earth boons for that to be active as well, and then just all the plasma giving us a ton of speed too. That amounted to a whole lot of damage. And obviously,
Typhon's essence.
we get this.
The power to stop time.
And we also got the rare opportunity to get up to rank 6 weapon aspect, which was kind of cool as well.
Thank you, Zagreus. Gygaros.
Okay, so obviously we are now in the aftermath of the decisive final Typhon defeat. And we heard that theoretically very little has changed on this front, and that seemingly was the case in the build-up to this run. We, I think, did still notice one or two things that felt a little bit different. So there might be some minor tweaks here, but we'll have to see.
All my family on the mountain. Let me pass. So bright. Hermes probably already spread the news.
Oh, he may have. Oh, I didn't notice. I just walked past it, but there's this little... I don't know what the... There's a decoration on the floor. There's probably a fancier word for it. Where it showed a little graphic for basically each of the gods and goddesses. Like, one was a fireball, presumably for Hestia. There's probably an icicle or something along those lines for Demeter, so on and so forth. Right on the entryway before we entered this part of the palace. Not seeing any of them now that we're actually in the full area here. And it does feel like, in general, when we've had surface runs and talked to Zeus and Hera in particular, and Apollo to a certain extent, that we've had more Zeus, Hera, and Apollo boons on those runs. We did have Hera this time round, a fair bit of boons from her, but no Zeus and no Apollo. We were looking for Apollo for a while, so we had kind of always wondered, like, oh, is that just a coincidence? Confirmation bias in a way? Or was that actually a thing? And it probably was a coincidence.
Flower. Moonlight, guide us. Salutations.
Everyone is just to us, and we can't even salute you.
So good to see you.
And you, of course.
Okay, now let's actually talk.
Oh my good niece, you are extraordinary, truly. So far as we can tell, no trace of that monstrosity remains. The deed is done. Typhon is dead.
Ding dong, Typhon's dead? The wicked Typhon? I am not sure that this was how Zeus delivered the news last time. I don't remember. I mean, it's been a while, obviously.
My lord husband has been premature to declare victory before, so I shall not believe a word of this until I hear it from your lips. Perhaps not even then.
The father of all monsters is undone. Not merely dead, but eradicated, using the power of the Titan of Time and a bit of assistance from father's favored spear, Gygaros.
Yeah, I don't remember if we had any sort of line like this where we were piecing everything together to summarize it so cleanly like that.
You hear that, Hera dear? I told you young Meninui was certain to prevail on our behalf. Our family always triumphs when we stand together with a common purpose.
Doesn't happen often, though. Which, if you had said this in the original true ending, I probably said that then as well.
I remain utterly in shock. Well now, girl,
That's
if
Zeus's
you have
job.
truly quashed that monstrous threat, then do prepare yourself for all of us to claim we never doubted you at any point. My lord husband is already starting.
If you had not believed in me, Queen Hera, then perhaps Typhon would have been here in my stead. So thank you all. And now an even greater victory is within reach.
The Titan Kronos. You mean to likewise destroy him using the methods you employed this very night?
If necessary. Though this power that you witnessed was for Typhon alone, and likewise what we plan for Kronos is fit only for him. The Deathless cannot be destroyed unless they threaten the very fabric of the weavings of the Fates.
No time for feasting till the other deed is done then, yes? That's fine. The Titan's forces may grow far more desperate now, a possibility for which we ought prepare. We shall lend you all the strength we can for your own final assault. fare you well?
You have our blessings.
Yeah, I don't remember. I really don't remember what exactly this conversation was like last time round. So, like, was there as much of a sort of moving on to the next step of talking about how, okay, yes, this is one critical piece done, but now that means we're moving on to bigger and badder things? We have to defeat Kronos now? And Malinui doing a... Maybe she said this last time, but it seemed like she did at least a pretty decent job of summarizing why the solution that we just had for Typhon only works for him, and so this helps us on our road to defeating Kronos, but we're not there yet, and that is going to require a separate attempt using a slightly different methodology. Okay, let's talk to you next.
The storm has passed. That monster turned the weather such that not even Lord Zeus or I could stop it properly. But now he's gone, and we have you to thank.
Thanks are owed all around, Grandmother. Typhon gave in to the combined might of the gods. I merely concentrated our fell strength. Now to press this advantage.
Perhaps not even Kronos can withstand what you unleashed. But be careful, granddaughter. Make certain we shall meet again.
We will.
See, that's the thing. So I think we found that after the true ending, the first go-round, that you never end up in this temple anymore. Yeah, in fact, this is probably going to be the last time we're ever in the temple. Unless there's some other reason why there's plot-related reasons to be here again, or if they just change that altogether with the new true ending, where now you can head back to the crossroads from here. Because I remember, I was surprised to see that in the original timeline. Because it seemed like, obviously, there was such a huge build-up around ascending the Mount Olympus, which obviously didn't even happen at all in Hades 1, but there were probably countless people who wanted to do that. So there was, years of build-up toward this, even before Hades 2 even existed. So you would think that they would kind of, milk that for all that it's worth. And obviously there are still many opportunities to talk with the gods and goddesses on Olympus on your way to defeating Typhon on this run, the decisive one. But still, it just seems like you could find a way, even if you aren't necessarily having a full-blown conversation with them every time you walk up here. Even if it was just a simple, good job, Malinui! And then you hop through the portal over here and head back to the crossroads, rather than just immediately teleporting back to the crossroads after the Typhon fight.
That monster, truly gone. You got him. Forever. Not that my faith in you wavered since your initial victory, it's just... I still can't entirely believe it. So now for Kronos, then.
It feels like, again, I can't say this definitively, but it feels like all of these conversations are making more of a point of transitioning from Typhon into Kronos. Because I thought I kind of remembered that in the original true ending, it was a little odd in that way. It was just like, oh, we're done here. All right. We don't need you anymore, Malinui. Go do your own thing. Bye. Thanks. And so there was sort of an odd lack of discussion about Kronos up here.
Now for Kronos, then. One encouraging result can often spur another, and perhaps all of you shall have a brief reprieve. I'm certain you could use it.
With Prometheus and such still causing problems, we won't be getting all too comfortable just yet. Especially not while our main foe's out there still. Go get him, Sunshine.
Vaguely recall Apollo may have made that comment about Prometheus last time, though. So yeah, don't quote me on any of that stuff. I'd have to go back and compare the two. But there we are. Mission accomplished. Typhon eradicated.
Kronos. I'll be counting on your blessings, everyone.
And did we have this as well? Because I remember we had also said several times that it was odd how whenever we went to this boon, going back to the crossroads, this just seems like another very interesting opportunity to explore some things that there otherwise hadn't been many opportunities to explore, because Malinui receives so many boons, but so rarely does Malinui have her own boon. And maybe we had some of these things where Malinui would just leave a quick comment herself, but she wouldn't communicate with Hecate. That was the big thing that we really liked the first 1 or 2 times that it happened, but then that ceased immediately thereafter.
Return to Shadow now.
Okay.
Keep holding on, everyone.
We're close.
He's gone, Phrynos, the father of all monsters. Now but one major threat remains.
Okay.
Oh, you're up.
Brood? We cannot brood. You do not have anything meaningful to say to us, but...
No need to be concerned.
Oh, right. I was just thinking, what prophecy did we complete? It's the one with Medea. Because I was thinking about that weapon, the blade hammer upgrade that we took for prophecy completion purposes, which was not enough in and of itself.
Let me see.
But by completing Bitter Tears, the daughter of the god of the dead shall some evening assist the Witch of Shadows, Medea, in her latest pharmaceutical development. And it was fairly straightforward. It was just strange how delayed it was and how there wasn't a lot of context to understand what the reason for all this was and what after effects there might be. Seems like next time we encounter Medea, she will bring it back up and maybe then we'll learn more about it, but otherwise, if not...
I think we both knew this would come to pass.
And it's just kind of strange.
It's true, isn't it? You scoured Typhon from this world. The prophecy I saw must have not merely been about his reawakening, but his eradication. How did you manage this, if I may ask?
A complicated incantation from Headmistress, alongside the essence of Gygaros, my father's spear he took up after Kronos' Fest was overthrown. It all worked out.
Your father's spear. In what I saw, a spear could be seen piercing through the storm. Then that must have been you. And so, the Fates truly did anticipate that you'd prevail.
Do they anticipate I shall slay Kronos next?
If I but knew.
Yeah, I mean, that's... Obviously, the Fates have been captured and or tossed into the void. So, them being able to predict anything right now is saying something, and the fact that they did in fact predict us defeating Typhon, that's saying a lot more. No heiress. Obviously, we did defeat her on that run. Anyone at the taverna? Seemingly not. Still waiting on you. Don't really have anything that we're trying to buy here anymore, other than, I guess, we can just continue to load up on some of these guys. Should be fine on the Ambrosia front for a while, though. Sell you. And then, yeah, really don't... I mean, sure, we can buy Nightmare, but at this point, we have now maxed out all of the weapons. So this is basically just for either selling back to get the kudos, or to unlock those alternate familiar skins. I guess, sure. We'll go for it. We have the bones to spare.
Princess.
Hey, Hecate.
The foul deed is done. Have no pity for that monster, only gratitude for yielding his power in his absence. Now you are ready for the final phase.
Okay. Now, are you actually going to discuss it? Or are you going to shut down this conversation right now?
Before I depart, my brother asked something I didn't know how to answer. If Kronos is destroyed before all this, what exactly happens to us here and now?
Let us discover the truth of it together. I am certain only that this is not goodbye. The conclusion of your task is at hand. Go. End this.
True. Because technically... Again, this is... We saw that in the original true ending, did not come to pass. But if we had set up Zagreus to slay Kronos in the past, and Zagreus did in fact follow through with that, then it's not just a question of what happens when time no longer exists. It's a question of what happens when time no longer existed in the past. And then presumably that continues to be the case up until the present. So it's even more of a difficult question to answer than perhaps we were giving credit for.
I'll see you again soon.
So I wish that conversation was brought up earlier and discussed in greater depth. And, well, like, bring that conversation up a few runs earlier, because, I mean, we've talked about it many times before, but that's a very valid question, very interesting philosophical question, and pretty critically important, because if we functionally make the world cease to exist, then that's probably not any better than having a world that is run by Tyrant Kronos. So we should probably establish that before we follow through with the plan. But now that so at least initially raise the point of, hey, I wonder what happens. Then next time round talk about, hey, maybe this will happen, or maybe something else will happen, or maybe eventually you get to where Hecate is here and she says, well, I don't know what's going to happen, but at least we can... I'm confident, even though she doesn't really have any hard evidence to suggest why she would reach this conclusion. She just says, I don't think this is going to be the last time we'll see each other. I believe, I trust that the process is going to work. So, it's good. It could be better. I think it's new. So, it's not a major complaint on that. I don't think it's like a serious, black mark like some of the previous conversations with Hecate in these sorts of situations have been. But it could have been managed a little bit better in many of the ways that we've talked about on previous runs. And of course, by getting the entropy from just defeating Typhon, that means we can now get the Dissolution of Time recipe completed, and that is what sets us up for the final run, the climax of the new true ending.
You may proceed. Time overstepped his bounds, which cannot stand. He shall be stopped, as the three fates had planned.
Alright. So that is obviously a very big one, setting us up for what could be the decisive run in the underworld next time round, but let's see what these two have to say.
They're saying you got rid of Typhon for good. Don't believe a word of it. What really happened up there?
Yeah, you see, we went and saw Typhon, and then we got rid of him for good.
Got rid of Typhon for good is a concise way to put it. Involved a rather complex incantation called Disintegration of Monstrosity, and some other details best left unspoken. But yes, I do believe he's gone.
He's immortal. He can't just be gone, and if he is, why not just do the same to Kronos? Or to anybody who stays on your bad side long enough?
That's exactly what we plan to do to Kronos, and continue talking like that, and maybe you're next on the list.
We've something else in store for Kronos. As for everybody else, they haven't crossed me quite as much just yet.
But you're getting close.
Yet. Huh.
You watch yourself, Nemesis. Still can't gift to you, sad face. Although, probably not coming as much of a surprise. Probably need to conclude the new true ending before that'll be possible.
How are you holding up, Goddess? My instinct is to celebrate the death of Typhon, but I never forgot the first man I slew. And the light left his eyes.
I think I do remember this conversation. Last time?
Typhon sought destruction, and he got it. I won't rejoice in the outcome, but won't lament it either. Especially when there's more left to be done.
You have the right approach. You'll have time to recount every choice and consequence when all of this is over, but for now, best to press on and finish what you started.
I intend to.
Alright, thank you, Odysseus.
You alright?
One moment.
Take all the time you need.
Did we just forget to plant stuff last time? Some of these are underworld seeds.
I'll keep an eye on it.
Throw the mystery one in there
Into the
while we're
earth you
at
go.
it. I mean, as I say every time, these technically don't really matter much anymore, but we'll throw them in nonetheless.
The storm that had been covering the top of Mount Olympus cleared up. I figured I'd finally get to see Typhon, but no. What happened there?
Yeah, about that.
The storm is gone because Typhon himself is gone. He seemed to be growing angrier each passing night. It was either him or my family and their home.
You're kidding me. He's gone as in he's gone. Not hiding, dormant, nothing of the sort. Well, that's great. What are you doing here, though? You ought to be feasting with the rest of the Olympians right now.
We're not done yet. Not quite.
Need to take care of a few things.
I guess that's one way to describe permanently deleting Kronos. Nothing there. Unsurprisingly, nothing up there. See if Skelly has anything to say about this.
It's finally time. Death to Kronos.
Oh, I do remember this, though. Because this is where... Put an end to the Titan of Time. This is where you can see this side. It's red, sort of, the circle. It's a little subtle. But if you try to do this...
Done with Typhon.
It's sealed. Because Typhon is dead. Like, permanently dead. That means we have no choice but to go down and face Kronos next time round.
To all of you just joining up, welcome.
Oh, that's all he has to say. He doesn't have anything to say about us defeating Typhon. Wow, that's pretty surprising. But alright, I mean, I think that means we're going to wrap things up here, and we know what the goal is next time round. It could be the final run, the new true ending, and we'll just have to see the extent to which things have changed. We saw a lot of new things in the build-up toward the new true ending. Will the conclusion itself still remain the same, or has that also received a lot of changes as well? Well, we'll just have to wait and see. So thank you all for watching, hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you in the next one.